Okay folks, here we are. We've come back to Burkes Flat at night. Now, it is absolutely amazing being here under the same conditions that Ron experienced on the 4th of April. And the night we've got here tonight is eerily similar to the night that he had. It's very clear, there's only a slight breeze blowing, and the conditions are pretty much matching what he had. We have a full moon here and it's a bit hard to see under our conditions with the equipment that we have, but there's a beautiful silvery sheen that's going across the landscape here, and it really is quite an eerie location. It's very, very quiet, there's no noise, there's no people around, and it is absolutely the most ideal place for a UFO to appear. And standing here in this spot is really very much gives you the chills, because it actually immerses you into the same location in the same place. And just behind me here, out in this paddock, right here on the 4th of April 1966, Ron saw... G'day folks, here we are on location in Burkes Flat. This is the actual location where Ron Sullivan, who's joined me today, has had his encounter on the 4th of April 1966. Now, after a lot of work and a lot of hours spent, we've actually been able to pinpoint pretty much the exact spot where the object was seen. And the spot where Ron and I are standing now...
Why did he hit the tree with such speed? There was no... In the witness statement, Lauren said they were travelling between 45 and 50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Well, that smash, the police reporter had no less than 70 miles per hour. When you look at the pictures of the crash site and the car, you would say to be...
Oh, Ben, I think we were watching television. I guess we had television back in those days. And heard car came in fairly fast, pulled to a halt because we had the lights on. Pitter-patter down the veranda and loud knock on the door, and we opened the door and it was a bit sus, and Dad and I went to the door, looked out, and there's this young bloke here in white as a sheet saying, "Something terrible's happened to me, mate, something..."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, a lot of the old people, like they're gone now, most of them, they've seen flying saucers and they talk about it and that, you know, they'll go down and they'll have a drink and they'll say, "Yeah, you remember when the flying saucer landed, or somebody found a bit of gold," or something like that. So yeah.
they're the interesting...
It's a surreal experience being out here at the very same location as witnessed by Ron Sullivan. And just across from me, on the other side of the road, was the...
G'day folks, as Ivan said, we're out here at Burkes Flat. It's unbelievable out here. We've got a full moon up there. Wish we could show you, and we might have a go at that and see if we can show you. This is the road. It's not very easy to see at night, and this is, I guess, a little bit of an experiment for us, filming at night. Clearly not easy, and we're doing this with just the torch. So anyway, as you can see, it's dead quiet, not a car on the road. So if there is any cars on this road, 9 times out of 10 they're travelling it alone. It's the perfect environment to have a UFO probably come here. It's not really the sort of place that's you know, swarming with people or anything like that, so I'd imagine that this would be a perfect location.
G'day folks, and welcome to VUFOA-TV. Today we've got a really special treat for you. We are having an interview today with Ron Sullivan. And Ron Sullivan had an amazing experience back in April 1966. And the case is very well known around the world, and it's known as the bent headlight case. And it has attracted a fair amount of publicity over the years, but we think for a modern audience it's now time to retell the story in greater detail, and for Ron to be able to have the chance to talk about the case again 47 years after the event. So it happened a long time ago, and it also happened at a time where there was some other significant UFO events at the time too. There was the Baldwin photo, which was taken on the 2nd of April that year, and then there was Ron's encounter on the 4th of April, and then the famous Westall school case occurred on the 6th of April. So it was a period of very intense...
We found a crash site quite easy, because the tree was all scarred and there was car debris at the foot of the tree. following the car had been towed away previously, and we looked around and I said, well, this is a spot all right. And we looked across the road, over the fence, and I said to you, let's take a walk over and see what's anything over there. So you and I, we split up, and I hung back a bit because Diane said, oh, dead bird. I looked around and found some dead. So anyway, Hugh rang up, yelled out to me, I said, Ron, come over here and have a look at this. Anyway, I went over and had a look. There was an impression in the ground, about 9 to 10 feet diameter and about 6 or 8 inches deep in a falla. And there was no footprints or marks around it at all, only where the footsteps where Hugh entered into the area. And Hugh said, don't walk anywhere. I said, no. All right, so he went back and he explained it. I think he went back and told the police. And we dug up the owner of the property, and he came and had a look. He said, I don't know what that is. Could have been birds mating and flapping in the ground, but very unlikely for that.